Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Christopher Pelton, and I am your host here at THC Time. It is my great pleasure to welcome my author guest for today. She has written a fun, challenging. I'm very excited just based on the information that I have seen, and I've read some blurbs, and things are very like the cover's great, and it's very exciting when I first saw it. So I was very excited to be able to connect. Finally, the holidays happened, lots of busy stuff. We're very busy people. But please welcome Cat Scully to THC Time. How are you tonight?
Doing great. How are you doing?
I am doing well. I things are busy, but in a good way, so I can't complain. So tell me, again, let me bring that back up. First off, the cover is fabulous.
Oh, thank you.
Is
Clash
that
did a great job.
Yes. Now you've got a lot going on here. So tell me a little bit about what the inspiration was behind this project.
Absolutely. So the short pitch is that it's The Great Gatsby meets Hellraiser.
Nice.
And Below the Grand Hotel is coming out May 6th from Clash.
Okay.
Matthew Revert did the cover for it. He did a phenomenal job. He did exactly what I was hoping. I wanted some Gatsby vibes, but also bloody. So
Sure.
He absolutely nailed it. There's a lot going on with this book, but I think the best way to summate it is with the pitch itself, where a pickpocket in the 1920s picks the wrong pocket and loses her soul to a hotel run by demons.
Nice.
Now she has to use her thieving skills to steal her soul back before she becomes a demon herself forever. So that's Below the Grand Hotel. I really wanted to write something that was, one, a challenge for me because writing historical was a challenge.
Sure.
But also I was on a couple panels at Dragon Con. One of them was the Miss Fisher's Murder Mysteries, right when the movie was coming out.
Right.
And I watched a lot of 1920s murder mysteries as a result, and I absolutely loved it. And the lead actress was also the lead actress in The Babadook. And I thought, why can't I write a horror 1920s? Like, why can't I take a murder mystery and push it into the realm of horror? And I'm not the first one to do it, but I certainly wanted to make my mark on that particular time period. Sure. To really push the boundaries of horror. And this is my debut adult novel. So before this, I had a young adult published, Jennifer Strange, which I also wrote and illustrated. Mm-hmm. And then Below the Grand Hotel is also going to feature illustrations in the center, which I'm very excited about because it'll have my lead cast of demons on full display for the center of the book, and that way you can see what I was envisioning of what they look like and how they dressed.
Sure. And you sent me some of the interior art there. Does a tremendous job capturing that 20s feeling. That is very Art Deco. That is very effective. So we've got Will. Tell me a little bit about Will.
So Will, you don't realize that you meet Will, but he's probably one of the first characters that you meet. So okay. It opens on Mabel Rose Dixon, our protagonist. She is starry-eyed, just landed in New York, trying to become a Ziegfeld girl. Sure. And Ziegfeld isn't giving her the time of day because he has hundreds of ladies lining up to be a Ziegfeld girl, and she can't break in. So she's been picking pockets for the past couple weeks to kind of figure her way in, but she sees a beautiful couple walk into the Grand Hotel wearing the biggest diamond she's ever seen. And she's like, if I could get that diamond, mm-hmm. then I could probably convince Ziegfeld to let me star in one of his, leading roles. Sure. That's my way in. And the first person she meets is the doorman, which is Will. And he warns her at the beginning, don't stay too long or you might never leave. And she doesn't think anything of it. She just thinks that he's hitting on her, and she blows him off. But she doesn't realize that he is one of the many hapless lost souls of the hotel that was lured in with big dreams of stardom, told that he would be able to have a crowd full of people to watch him box every night. He thought, this is the way to support my sister. We've come over from Ireland. I need some way to keep us off the streets. And he has been boxing. And the hotel promises him a full crowd, tons of money. And he doesn't realize that the hotel expects him to kill everyone that he fights and feed them to the hotel.
Nice. Okay.
So that's where the setup turns. Oh, wait, now it's Hellraiser.
Exactly.
There's a body count.
I like it. I like it. We've got, let's see, who we got here? Lucky.
Oh, this is Lucky. So Lucky was the star of the hotel before Mabel. And she got demoted for some reason that you have to find out when you read the novel. And Lucky does not like Mabel, and Mabel does not like Lucky, but they end up forming a relationship. It's a bit strained, but they figure out a deal to kind of help each other out.
Sure. And Raymond.
Raymond is probably my favorite side character. He is the concierge.
Okay.
He has been helping the West family who runs the hotel since it began, and he can get you whatever you want. You just have to ask. You just have to ring his bell, and he can get you anything. And I based his design off of David Dastmalchian. I thought he'd be perfect, especially I'm a big fan of Twin Peaks, and I loved him in Twin Peaks The Return, where he works for the casino. And I thought he would be a fantastic concierge for this hotel.
Excellent. So how long have you been writing?
Oh my gosh.
All told.
So my undergraduate major was writing, even though I have been an artist, I think, the longest, probably my whole life. But I didn't stumble into writing until I was randomly put into a college freshman course where they were like, you can pick any of these classes to kind of try out and feel out college and give it a shot and see what you think. And to get you interested in pursuing 4 more years of this, they're like, let's give them something fun. So it was an extra class I took, and the teacher told me first thing, I can write whatever I want. And I had just come out of high school in the 5-paragraph essay, and I was like, what? I can do what I want? And so I wrote 2 buddy cops and an occult detective murder mystery that faced down an Egyptian death goddess in a meatpacking plant. And that's what I wrote. And the rest is kind of history, because my teacher was like, I dig the vibe. I think you need to keep doing this. So it was from my teachers while I was at my undergraduate was at Western Carolina University, which has a fantastic writing program, even though it's in the middle of nowhere, North Carolina. That's how I got started. It was from those teachers telling me, no, write more weird things. These weird things are good. You might want to keep doing that.
It's funny how, as you said, when we're in high school, it's very structured. It's like, oh, you have to write an essay, or, oh, you have to write, and it's like, and this is how you do it. This is the form. And as a creative kid myself, I mean, I was writing, because I grew up in the 80s. So I was very big into the slasher films and everything like that. And I used to write stories that took place in my school. Now, if I wrote those stories today, they'd lock me up. But, when I was 13 years old, 14 years old, my classmates loved it, because they were in the story. It's like, oh, how does the guy get me this time? They absolutely adored it. And my English teacher at the time was the one who really kind of pushed me. She's like, you'll learn all of this stuff in school. She's like, but there's so much more to writing than the form and all of that. She's like, so don't get too hung up on it. And over the last 2.5 years, I've worked with a lot of writers, and I can tell the ones who have taken advice like that to heart and just throw it out, throw the rules out the window and write their book the way that they want to write their book. And a lot of them get hung up on the grammar thing, or a lot of them get hung up on because, Mrs. So-and-so in the 8th grade said this. And I wonder how many potential writers we've lost because they were told at a young age, oh no, this is all writing is. Because I mean, for me, it was ignoring what I had learned to become, where I am. And so from YA to Demon Run Hotels.
Yes.
How did that transition work? And how was your acceptance in the YA world? Because we're not quite in the horror world yet, but I got a feeling they're going to love you because that book, that's good stuff.
Well, so I have been working first as an illustrator. I've done world maps for over 30 or 40 novels at this point, either as a
Nice.
pre-order campaign or it's been printed in the book. So the young adult authors and middle grade authors were my biggest supporters. Like they would commission me for maps. There was one time I worked on maybe 15 maps in a row just because the word of mouth spread between middle grade and young adult authors. And they were like, oh, you need to get a Cat Scully map. And I did a lot of business. They were wonderful to me. And I'm really grateful for that because it taught me a lot about marketing books because I was involved in so many pre-order campaigns and had to get things printed and ready. Then they would sometimes ask me to do character cards or bookmarks. And I built up quite a portfolio and I learned a lot and I met a lot of people. At the same time, there was a period where I was the young adult editor for the HWA while Jonathan Mayberry was running his blog Scary Out There, and he was interviewing a lot of different authors about why do they write scary fiction for kids.
Right.
And through that, I met a lot of authors, like through the HWA. And my dearest friends actually became the ones that wrote adult horror, like Christopher Golden, Bracken McLeod. I found this whole community and I found Camp Nikon, which at the time took place in Rhode Island, but has since moved up to New Hampshire, and it's every summer. And it's like summer camp for horror writers. And I went there and met so many people. And I kept hearing over and over the encouragement of like, try to write an adult horror. We want to see something from you that's like, that we can read because we want to pass your books on to our kids and our teens. But what do you want to say? And my YA book was bloody. Like I ripped someone in half, I think in chapter 2.
Nice.
And so they were like, maybe you should be an adult horror though. Like what would happen if you like were able to spread your wings a little bit? And I went, I think I should do that. And my friend Todd Kiesling, he was really encouraging, like, come on, Kat, you need to write an adult horror. Let's go. Like, come on.
Nice.
Let's go. And I finally did it. It took a while though. I think it was 6 months for Below the Grand Hotel of just historical research alone, where I looked up a lot about the Ziegfeld girls. I found like so much information out about that. And I found a lot of parallels between then and now. So while I was working in the publishing industry, I had also gotten an internship at Cartoon Network, which led to animation job after animation job. I've worked as an artist for commercials for Cartoon Network. Then I worked in video games on the video game Romancylvania with a lot of the team that made my favorite game, Bioshock Infinite. And I went on to do like I had a job in world building that was like rapid prototyping 3D models. I did that for the past year. And I've worked all these different artist jobs. And I have met so many artists, so many writers, so many voice actors, performers. And I just started thinking about, I've kind of worked, I've done concept art for film. I've done concept art for video games, video game art level design. I've done a lot, and I had a lot to say about being an artist. And it was lining up with everything I was finding out about the 20s and trying to make it in vaudeville while that market was saturated with people who were trying to make it on stage. That was a dying art because talkies were suddenly becoming a thing.
Right.
Ziegfeld opened his theater only to have talkies replace it. So
Right.
there are so many moments I thought, that's a lot like streaming replacing our movie theaters.
Yep.
And I love going to the movies. It's like one of my favorite things to do. And I'm worried they're going to die off. And I was like, I need to talk about this. I need to
Sure.
write about this. And it had started as a short story that I sold to a spin-off of Occult Detective Quarterly. And
Mhm.
Sam Gafford was the editor at the time, but he's not with us anymore.
Mhm.
And he posted a lot about how he kept writing and nobody knew who he was and nobody had heard of him. And he was worried that he would, die and become a name no one remembered and his works
Right.
wouldn't matter. And he wrote about that a lot on Facebook. And I just thought, that's the same thing I'm reading that people were afraid of in the 20s.
Sure.
Like, this has not changed in 100 years. And neither has carnival food. I've learned that also. Like, popcorn and hot dogs is still the same. So this is the perfect place to talk about trying to be an artist working in capitalism. And that became the point of the book.
Absolutely. I'm excited. I really like, the more that we talk, the more I'm like, okay, hurry up and write it. Come on, I want to read it. We're going to take a quick commercial break, Kat. We'll be right back, and we're going to play our favorite game here, Straight Fire. Hold on, folks. We'll be right back. And we're back. All right, Kat, it is time to play everybody's favorite game. Ladies and gentlemen, you know it. This is Straight Fire.
What if CAT really spelled dog?
All right, guys, it is time for Straight Fire. 5 random questions, no wrong answers. Don't think about it too hard. It's nothing serious. First question and last question are always the same. So, are you ready?
Yes.
All right. Kat, question number 1. If dogs wore pants, would they wear them on 2 legs or 4 legs?
2 legs.
2 legs. All right. When you're at your desk writing or working or drawing or whatever you're doing there, do you have a little bowl of something, chips, crackers, nuts? What's your munchie when you're working?
Chocolate covered cashews.
Good choice. Very good choice. You're sitting on death row. What is your last meal?
Oh, I want a medium rare steak and a loaded baked potato. That's what I want.
All
And
right.
also an old fashioned. Those 3
Perfect.
things.
Perfect. Excellent. You're in a cabin in the woods. You find a book covered in human flesh. Do you read what's in the book?
Yes, and I hope Bruce Campbell comes out.
Everybody, all the horror people say yes. We know how it ends, but we all want to know, but we all want to see it.
But horror has taught me how to fight the evil.
And the last question I ask everybody, and once you answer, I'll explain why. When you are at the grocery store, Kat, can you reach the items on the top shelf?
No.
Okay. The reason I asked that question of everybody is because it was one of the first questions I was ever asked, the first interview I ever did. And I'm 6'4". So my life has been spent helping short people get stuff off the tall shelves. It's just part of, 1% of my total life, I think, has been spent doing that. So if you ever hear that I'm a top shelf guy, that's why.
That makes sense.
I'm very tall. Exactly. Not my personality, nothing like that. So May is coming sooner than we'd like to think. And we've had some positive words here from some very, very talented people. So
I'm floored to have gotten the blurbs. I've gotten Robatone, such a sweetheart. I told him about this pitch and he wrote me and said, this is one of the best books Clash has ever done. And that just blew me away. And He's such a sweetheart. We're hoping to do an event together, maybe in New York. So stay tuned for that.
All righty, excellent. And Sean Hamill.
Sean Hamill, like, I'm going to be emotional about this because A Cosmology of Monsters was a book that I randomly picked up based off the cover from Barnes & Noble. I tried to pick random authors, like, so that my discoverability is always like, I want to try some new names. And his novel just like broke me to the point that I wrote him. He was a total stranger and said, Sean, your book is amazing. So the fact he blurbed mine means the world to me. His books and his writing are basically what I want to be doing. They're a mix of horror, they're a mix of fantasy, they're literary, they're beautifully written, and he's weird. And I also want to be weird.
Weird is good. Weird is
yes.
Normal is boring. I've known normal. Normal is boring, you know. And we have very nice.
So I got this one yesterday from Todd, and I'm very fortunate that of the books I've read, the one that scared me the most was Devil's Creek by Todd Kiesling. I am fortunate to say that my friend scared me to death. So it means a lot that Todd really liked my book as well. And he just sent that to me, so that I haven't even shared that online yet. That's a fresh blurb.
It's the bee's knees, according to Todd. Very good.
The bee's knees.
Very good.
Highest compliment.
The first question would be, what's the plan for the launch?
So for the launch, we are planning, and I'm going to spoil this a little bit. I've been keeping it under wraps.
Okay.
We're going to have a launch party that features cocktails of each of my 6 demons. I'm working with a local bartender in Salem, and he's come up with custom cocktails for all of them.
Nice.
And we're also going to have performances and dress up in 20s, and we're in the middle of booking the venue. So we're going to be announcing very, very, very soon that probably the weekend after the book comes out, which is May 6th. So probably Saturday, May 10th. So put a pin in that date. But yeah, it's going to be a whole to-do.
Nice. Very
20s extravaganza.
So the book is done. It's off the print, all that good stuff.
It's done. I'm done. I can't believe it.
What's next?
So I'm working on 2 books at the same time. And one of them I pitched as Crimson Peak meets practical magic, about a trio of 3 sisters that have to stop a witch from rising and opening a portal to hell. And then the other is pitched as Nope meets Twister. And there is a beast off the coast of Florida that is using the weather to feed off of a small town. All right.
I can see. I can dig that.
Those are the 2 next adult horror that I'm working on.
Nice.
And my agent's super excited about those.
So, you planning on hitting the road this year? A little bit here and there, maybe?
Yes.
Excellent.
I'm hoping to go down to New York. I've been hoping to go around New England. So I'm definitely in the middle of looking for bookstores to visit or places that would like to host me. So I'm hoping to announce a tour as well. There's a bookstore, I think, that's in Massachusetts. So far, I've heard a tentative yes, but I'm going to announce tour dates soon. I'm always looking for any suggestions as well.
Sure, absolutely. Definitely. There might be a handful of people I still know from my East Coast life there. Let's see what we can do. Where can we find you online?
I am at CatherineScully.com. That's Catherine with a C, and Scully like Dana Scully from the X-Files. And pretty much on all social media, I'm Cat M. Scully. I'm on TikTok, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Threads, I'm on Blue Sky. Those are all great places to find me. And I also have a shop of my own with my artwork called Haints and Hollows.
Okay. All right. So I will put all of those links in the descriptions. So we can get those folks out there checking out your work. Kat, I want to thank you for your time and coming out tonight. I really do appreciate it. And we will have to stay in touch because 2025 is going to be a huge year for us here at THC. And I've been meeting a lot of very interesting people, and I'm a firm believer that the universe plays out the way it's supposed to. So, when people come into my purview, there's usually a reason for it. So we'll have a good year, folks. We're going to go take a quick commercial break. We'll be back for some mysterious segment after that. Not sure what yet. And then, we'll continue. So, folks, be sure to check out Cat's book coming out May
6th.
May 6th. Thank you. Not the 26th. May 6th. And it'll be everywhere books are sold. Amazon,
Yes.
Barnes & Noble, all those great places. Excellent.
Yes.
All right. And Cat, again, thank you for your time. Have a great night, folks. I'll be right back.
You're pregnant.
That can't be right. He always wears a condom.
Oh, shit.
Have you been lying to me?
Whoa, wait a second.
Do you remember when I told you that my body doesn't work the same as everyone else's? By the way, I should tell you a few things about my dad. He's a bit particular.
I was more of a cat person.
Are you gay?
Well, I think your dad and I see eye to eye.
He doesn't really like anyone.
Hey!
It's time.
Dad! No, Dad!
If we don't feed it, it will start sucking on her blood to survive.
You can't give birth to this thing.
Of course not! I've been freaking out since this morning.
I really thought you would grow up normal. You ain't family. You are the turd in the way.
Your mom really died giving birth to you?
This was me at the age of 7.
Better get cleaned up, Peggy. You want to be pretty for Daddy when he comes home.
That was Mom. She was always keeping after me. But I couldn't see what being neat and clean had to do with being pretty. But as time passed, I learned that cleanliness and health have a lot to do with beauty. There are regular habits that I acquire that make me feel at ease with myself and others. They're mostly the things that Mother asked me to do when I was younger. Let me show you. Start the morning of a school day, any school day. I feel good when I get up, if I've had enough sleep, as Mother always said. It doesn't take very long before I'm under the shower. I do this every day, both for my health and appearance. Plenty of soap and water. That helps keep my complexion clear. I'm at an age when blackheads and pimples form pretty easily, so I do what I can to control them. When your face is really clean, they have less chance of forming. Some people might not think a daily shower or bath is necessary, but I do. Every day I perspire, and waste particles are left on my skin. I wash them away so they don't give off unpleasant odors. Because I wash all over, I feel comfortable with people. I'm sure I'm clean. The best way to keep your nails bright and shiny is to scrub them with a brush. Bathing during your menstrual period is most important. At that time of the month, I use a special deodorant, just to be on the safe side. You know, I think there's nothing like a shower in the morning to make you really feel ready to enjoy the day. I change my underthings every day. Clothing that's against your skin picks up a lot of perspiration. I guess you all know what it's like being near someone who doesn't change as often as she should. I know that I've learned quite a lot about making a neat, healthy appearance. But even though I feel pretty grown up, I realize that there are a lot more things to know. So I'm willing to accept a little advice from the older people. My mother often gives me hints about picking out the right color combinations and how to take care of my clothes so they last. She's been taking care of herself a lot longer than I have. One thing Mother once suggested when I was younger was that I use an underarm deodorant. You see, I've always perspired a lot, but I never realized what I could do about it until Mom told me. I change socks every day, too. I don't have as many clothes as some girls do, so I wash out my things pretty often. I try to keep my outer clothing as clean as possible, too. I wash out my sweaters and blouses after a few wearings. Every article of clothing needs constant care. Even my shoes need lots of attention. I shine them myself and see that they stay in good repair. Shoes that are dirty or run down at the heels don't help a girl's appearance very much. Keeping my clothing neat is more important than having a lot of clothes. Another part of this daily routine I've been talking about is brushing my hair. Vigorous brushing gives it a bright sheen because it stimulates my scalp and spreads out the hair oils. One more thing I do in the morning is brush my teeth. I brush my teeth after meals. My dentist says my teeth are healthy because of the care I give them. Well, they're very important to me. Important enough, in fact, for me to visit my dentist at least twice a year for a checkup. No, my teeth aren't perfect, but they're healthy and clean, and that's what counts. Now it's time for makeup. The only makeup I wear to school is lipstick, but I'm careful in the way I use it. I know lipstick looks best when it follows the natural line of your lips, and when it isn't on too thick. Then, a last-minute check to make sure you're passable. A drooping slip is easy to miss. There, and I'm just about ready for school. At school, I get a sort of reward for my morning's activities. I've nothing to be self-conscious about. Everything's been taken care of. My personal health habits keep me fresh and clean all the time. They keep me relaxed and let me be myself. That's why they mean a lot to me. I try to get some kind of exercise every day. Maybe you're wondering why exercise is a part of my routine. Well, exercise makes you feel good, but more important, most of your muscles get used. Exercise helps keep my muscles from getting flabby. It keeps my body and legs firm and attractive. Being able to do a lot of things helps me fit in with any crowd. I meet a lot of new boys that way because everyone my age is interested in sports. Exercise gives me a lot of pep. Most important, though, it makes me feel good. This is the time I like the best. Lunch. You see, I love to eat. But I don't eat only my favorite dishes. I keep in mind the foods that will give me what I need every day. You all know what you should eat, and so do I. This lunch, together with my other meals today, must give me the basic foods and the proper amount of calories. So I think about my choice of foods. Foods can be so important because they affect your teeth, your hair, your skin, your weight, and your figure. These are the things anyone can notice. Eating the right foods in the proper amounts contributes toward regular good health. At least one night a week I set aside for hair washing night. Sometimes it seems like a task, but I know it's important. My scalp, like my skin, perspires, and waste particles accumulate. Regular washing makes your scalp feel good, and makes your hair smell fresh, and keeps it soft and silky. Once a week for me, and more often sometimes, when my hair gets too oily or dirty. Now's a good time, I guess, to see if I've told you everything I should about my health habits. Let's see. I brush my teeth after meals. I brush my hair every day and wash it at least once a week. I bathe every day, and I'm extra careful about cleanliness and a deodorant during my menstrual period. I change my underthings and stockings every day and keep my clothing in good condition. I eat the proper foods. What I eat affects my hair, skin, teeth, my weight, and the way I feel. I try to get some exercise every day. And I get enough sleep every night. Enough sleep for me, for anyone my age for that matter, is between 8 and 9 hours. And so, to bed. Well, you've seen my health habits. They're not very unusual, but they get results.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Christopher Pelton, and I am your host here at THC Time, and I am also the guy that warned your mom about the guy your mom warned you about. It is my great pleasure this evening to welcome a very exciting filmmaker. I saw the trailer for this movie, and it just it cracked me up. So we're going to go ahead and check this out, folks. This is the trailer for Killer Cabbage.
Two warriors from the future will join forces.
You two are humanity's last hope.
To fight a greedy corporation that will stop at nothing to get what they want.
I think we're ready. Somebody get me a vegetable.
Go on, sir.
Idiot! You want us to get it sued?
From the visionary director that decided to remake his own movie that nobody watched in the first place. Starring a bunch of people you've never heard of.
Oh my God!
Killer Cabbage. You are what they eat. Coming soon.
All right, folks, it is my great pleasure to introduce to you the director of Killer Cabbage. This is Mr. Mike Dotson. How are you today?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. How you doing?
I'm doing great, sir. I'm doing great. I know you've got your partner in crime there behind you.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm a very minor actor. I'm just very excited to be here.
Awesome. So, love the trailer. I started watching the movie this afternoon before the rest of my day completely went crazy, but I love what I'm seeing. So tell me a little bit about how the movie came to be.
So this was an idea I had back in 2011. It was originally a short film that I did, and I wasn't completely satisfied with it. It was a learning experience, and about 5 years later, I contacted a buddy of mine, Jude Reed, and he does plays in our area and stage plays. He directs them, writes them, and I asked him to help me flesh out a script because I had a new idea on where I wanted to take the film.
Sure.
I told him I wanted it to be a time travel, post-apocalyptic Mad Max type thing, and they go back in time to try and stop the cabbage apocalypse happening. And he helped me write the script, and it took a couple more years, but we finally got around to filming it.
Nice. And how long was the filming process altogether?
I think we started in March. It was probably March of last year. Was it? No, it was the year 2 years ago. March of 2 years ago, 2022. Yeah. And we finished by September, the end of August that year too.
Excellent. So the film was just released. How's the reaction been?
Positive. People are getting some pretty good laughs out of it.
Excellent. Like I said, what I've seen of it so far, it is funny. And congratulations on your tagline, man, because that is an absolute great line. We were just watching the trailer again earlier with my wife, and she was like, "That's a great tagline." I'm like, "Isn't it? That's so well done on that one." So is this your first? In 2011, you shot this. What else have you done film-wise?
Just short little things for YouTube with my buddies, just for fun every now and then. And we've actually filmed a documentary on a paranormal investigation that we went on about a couple of years ago to the Hinsdale house. So we had enough footage from that investigation to cut together a documentary, and that got on Amazon and Tubi. Oh,
awesome, excellent. So when were you bitten by the film bug?
Oh, I think when I was a teenager.
All right.
Probably junior high, I'd say. That's probably about 1998.
Okay. All right. Excellent. And what was your first project? Like, what was the first thing that you shot from start to finish and was like, okay, now not that it's ever a finalized thing. I mean, you're always learning in this industry.
Yeah.
But what was the first thing that you had, if you can remember, like the first thing you had done that you were like, yeah, I think I can really do this?
Probably the documentary. When I learned the editing process, I learned a lot through editing and making some of the people in there look like we know what we're doing as far as like the editing and the audio and
sure.
And I want to take a stab at an actual feature film.
Awesome. And have you done? What is the plan for the movie now? Now that it's out, are you going to do the festival scene? Are you going to do conventions? Like, you going to go on the road a bit?
We did the film festivals last year.
Okay.
There was a handful that took us, and there was a majority that didn't take us because it was about killer vegetables.
Sure.
But it came out on DVD back in December.
Okay.
Within 3 days of it being released on DVD on Amazon, we were number 6 in the top-rated horror new releases, which is pretty cool.
Very nice.
And it just hit streaming today on Vimeo and Vudu.
Excellent.
And it'll roll out on other streaming services in a couple months too.
Nice. So how did the team come together? Was it because I've talked to a lot of filmmakers lately, and my most favorite answer to that question lately has been it was a creepy Craigslist ad. So how did you bring everybody together?
Well, a majority of it was from Jude Reed, who helped me write it because he knows a lot of the actors around the area from doing stage plays. So he contacted a handful of them. They were interested, and met with them, and we did a script reading where I got to meet everyone.
Sure.
And everything just like fell into place after that. And I did all the editing, and me and Jude ran the camera back and forth.
What tools are you using to edit? Are you working in Final Cut or
a DaVinci Resolve? DaVinci Resolve, yeah.
Oh, excellent. Yes, excellent program. Obviously there's some CGI involved in the film. How is your experience working with that as a director?
There are some things that I was able to do because I'm a novice when it comes to 3D animation.
Oh, sure.
Right. but there's a majority that I could not do, and I sourced out a special effects company that I found on Fiverr.
Oh, excellent.
They're based in India, and they helped me out.
Oh, nice. And where are you located?
Upper Michigan, Upper Peninsula.
Oh, okay. All right. So middle of the country like me. I'm in Illinois. So, so that's yeah, man. And so were you filming? You were filming in your hometown or in the general area?
Yeah, the general area. Majority of it was in our hometown, and we traveled maybe an hour away to film at the sand dunes for the post-apocalyptic stuff.
Cool. It's a fun. The graphics work is a lot of fun. It's definitely got that kind of a little bit of a throwback feel to it. The colors are great. I love them. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we'll come back. We'll play Straight Fire, and then we'll find out what we can expect from you in the future, sir. So hold tight, folks. We'll be right back. All right, folks, we are back. And Mike, let's get ready. You guys know what time it is. It's time for...
What if CAT really spelled dog?
All right, this is Straight Fire. 5 random questions, no wrong answers. Don't take too long. It's just fun. First question and last question, however, are always the same because I'm a curious fellow. So, Mike, first question. If dogs wore pants, would they wear them on 2 legs or 4 legs?
2 legs, I think.
Two legs.
The back end.
All right. That is the most popular answer. My most favorite answer recently was they would wear bib overalls so they could keep like dog treats in the little pocket. I was
yeah.
All right. A friend of mine who lives in Missouri told me that one. So when you're at your desk, what are you snacking on? Do you have anything particular you're a fan
of? Ranch flavored corn nuts.
Oh, right on. Very good answer. Good answer. What's your favorite guilty pleasure movie?
Ooh, Troll 2.
Nice. The movie where there aren't even any trolls in it. Unlike the first one, which suspiciously, I'm not going to say that anything was borrowed, but a movie about a kid named Harry Potter with magical powers just happens to be a coincidence. I'm just saying. Excuse me. Fast or slow zombies?
Fast.
For survival reasons or for terror reasons?
For terror reasons. Return of the Living Dead from the 80s. That was probably the first zombie movie that scared me, but also made me laugh.
Sure. Absolutely. Classic movie. I heard Linnea Quigley is trying to get a sequel made now. I guess they're doing a Kickstarter thing or something. They're trying to raise some money, which is cool. I haven't met her yet. We pass like ships in the night at conventions. So that's a weird one. And the last question I ask everybody, and once you answer, I'll explain why I asked. When you're at the grocery store, Mike, can you reach the items on the top shelf?
Yes.
Excellent. All right. The reason I ask is because it was one of the questions I was asked one of the very first interviews I did. And I'm 6'4". So my whole life is spent getting tall stuff for short people. My wife's 5'1". So the division of work in our house is I do all the tall work. She does all the short work. So, that's just kind of where I'm at. So Mike, what's on the agenda for 2025? What do you got cooking?
We're going to film a haunted house movie. It's a horror comedy in June of this year. There's a producer up in Canada that loved Killer Cabbage and he wanted to work with me. Nice. So that's what we're in pre-production stages right now.
Excellent. Good stuff. Some returning cast. You're going to like to work with the same crew if you can?
Oh yeah. Yep, for sure.
It's nice to have that that camaraderie, because as I come from the writing world originally, I'm still a publisher, but writing is very much a solo effort up until a point. But filmmaking is a collaborative effort pretty much from the jump.
Oh, yeah.
You know, nothing gets done without a team.
Yeah.
And when you find the right team, then that's good stuff. So we've got a new movie being shot in June. That's excellent. Are you planning doing any conventions this year? Going out to local horror shows? You know, get some folks, build a little bit more buzz.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. We've been so busy with because this is my first feature film. So busy with trying to figure out what to do with it and trying to market it on social media. And then we got this other movie that we're working on, and plus my regular job.
All right, excellent. Well, it is a crazy thing, but you're passionate about what you do. The movie, like I said, when I've seen of it, I love it. I'm planning on watching it, the rest of it tonight. So I'm excited to see what you've got coming next. Definitely, my table is always open. So anytime you've got anything in the works, you want to come on and talk about anything, hit me up. More than happy to have you on any point in time. Anybody you want to give quick shout outs to as we wrap up?
The cast and crew of Killer Cabbage, my girlfriend Michelle, she was a producer on it. Ryan Maher, he played the mayor. Seth, Keith, the entire cast of Killer Cabbage.
Nice. All right. Well, Mike, I want to thank you for your time and for coming out and talking to us today. Can't wait to see what you come up with next. I'm really excited about it. Stay in touch, and we will definitely talk in the near future, my friend. Folks, I want you guys to hang out real quick. We're going to go to a last commercial break, and I will see you next week right here on THC Time.